Hey Dan, Paul Myers, Clark Communications. Listen, thanks for taking my call the other day. I wanted to use this video just to kind of maybe help you get more in the know of what needs to be done and how we can help. So let me show you what we've done just recently. So we're really familiar with the tourism space in Northern Ontario. Clark Communications, Scott, and our team has been involved with it for about 20 years. We just finished building out this past year 101 experiences .ca, and I'll leave these links in the email as well. We built out Tourism North Bay. We just finished this one. This is about a year now. This was a big project, but it just kind of gives you an idea of what's possible and what's doable on our end. This was, quite a bit more involved, therefore a lot more money. But I wanted to give you a bit of an idea of what's possible. And then this is northeasternontario.com. And this is another website that we had built out as well. So that's three recent ones. We built out some others, but that's the most recent that we've built out. So when we look at your website, websites typically, the average lifespan of a website is about 5 years, because so much happens in 5 years that you need to be currently constantly updating it and refreshing it. So this website is due for a good refresher. Looks good. It's probably served you well. I just think it's time to add a few things and change up a few things. So when I look at the website from a tool that we use that looks at the kind of the back end of it, it kind of shows me, the power and the keywords that you're ranking for and the traffic that you're being found for. So right now you're not being found for much traffic. You're ranking for 47 keywords. We have 34 different domains that we have backlinks from, and a total of 556 of them. Now you might ask, what's a backlink? A backlink is when another website links to you, passing some of its power and relevance through to your website, which helps your website rank. But we're very low in the rankings here. And when I look at these keywords, position 13, 21, 30, and so on, means that, let's organize them from, 13, 21, 29, means that you're not on the first page of Google. So there's only 10 spots on the first page of Google, and right now we're position 13 for Nipissing Lodge. So we're not even showing up on page 1. So there's a lot of reasons for that, and I kind of want to walk you through some of it. When I look at your website and I use Google to test it, it says that the page is usable on mobile. But when I look at it on my mobile device, it's nearly impossible to read it. And most traffic you're going to find now is coming in on mobile devices. So that's one of the benefits of a new website is it's mobile friendly and mobile optimized for cell phones, tablets, and desktops. So you have all three of them. So in other words, it responds to the size of the display. And this isn't doing that. This display is the exact same display that's on a cell phone. So it's very similar, exact same thing. So it's extremely small. I've got to do this pinch and zoom to make things happen. And again, I know you probably know this. I'm just kind of showing you a few things. Okay, so the website structure is really important. When we look at this, H1 tags is your heading tag, and H2 tag is a supporting tag for the H1. H3s are supplementary, and we don't have any of that on this website. So an H1 tag tells Google exactly what the website's about. When we look to the title tag on this site, let me just go back. Oh, let's go back to overview. This is the title tag, this whole lengthy title tag. And it only displays 67 characters. So let me show you what that looks like right here. What is a title tag? So I put your URL in, and it's Tom and Rae Lodge, and then hunting, fishing, and accommodations on ... See, it only displays 67. So we need to make this more relevant. So all of your pages are going to have the same sort of issue with the title tag. When I hover over this, it displays, you can't see it, but it displays what I just read to you. We want that to be more succinct with exactly what the page is without going so much where it gets cut off in the SERPs, because that's what happens is in the SERPs, they don't see it. This is all they see is hunting, fishing, and accommodations. So we need to make sure that hunting, fishing, accommodations, whatever that keyword is, and it's all based on a bunch of keyword research that we're going to do. Okay, so site structure is extremely important. H1 through to H2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 tags. Image tags are also super important. So when someone right clicks on this image and does a save as, right now it's just a bunch of numbers. That's not good. We want to title that image appropriately, like fishing at Tom Rae Lodge, that sort of thing. That's a keyword that can also be found in image search. So that's super important. So we never want to forget about image search or image search for SEO. Okay. Meta descriptions is the description of this page. So when I search for Tom Rae Lodge, this is a meta description. And you notice it's truncated again. It's cut off again. So we always try to pay attention to how long this is. I think it's 170 characters. No. I think it's 170 characters, or no, 268 characters for the description, 170 for the title tag. We want to make sure that it reads appropriately so it's not cut off, because it won't be displayed anyways. Okay. We talked about mobile friendly. We want to write content for what Google calls, let me see if I can find it. Right here. When we write content, we want to write content for what we call people first content, which means don't write it for SEO and search engines, write it for people. However, saying that, we want to make sure that we're doing all of this style of keyword research for your website to make sure we're grabbing the right keywords that you want to be found for. So we typically start and say, okay, Dan, listen, give me 20 keywords that you want your business to be found for. It could be hunting, Northern Ontario, tourism, like whatever those words may be. And then we'll start to do some research to see, do they have any volume? How hard is the word to rank for? And then we'll appropriately use the words per page that we design. And when I look at your site, and we spoke about, I think you have 6 or 7 cottages. Well, we want to have a specific page for each cottage. And make it so it's like, whatever, cottage 1, cottage 2, or whatever you name them, on the website, because we need to get more content on here. When I look at the amount of words on this page, the amount of words on this page is word count. There's 289 words on this page. And Google says the steps to a Google-friendly website, right here says provide high-quality content on your pages, especially your homepage. This is the single most important thing to do. So when we build out a site, we're going to want to make sure that we have, like this is a site here, that we have 1,000, 1,500 words of content on the homepage so that we can completely and all-inclusively tell Google what it is we're all about. So that's one website that we just finished. This is another website that we finished, Partners Bowling. This is a website we just finished. It's actually going to be launched this week. And you can see where he has 3 major buckets: auto repair, exhaust, and hydraulics. And we cover a little bit of auto repair here on the homepage, a little bit of exhaust on the homepage, a little bit of hydraulics on the homepage, and then each of those pages has its own page. But you notice that there's a lot of content on here. And again, Google reads words. So if we're not giving them enough verbs, enough description, enough content, they probably won't give us the first, second, third, fourth place ranking when someone searches for a tourist destination in Northern Ontario, right? So that's some of the things that we have to take a look at. The other thing that we want to look at is when I Google Tom Rae Lodge and I find your Google My Business listing, I know for a fact you have more people than 12 that would give you a review and give you a good review. So the only thing here is I don't think you have a system or a process set up to secure or request these reviews. So we can kind of show you how to do that as well, because it's super important. And we also want to add or embed this map in or on the page, your website. So you can see it here. So this is theirs. They're in the same situation. They only have one review, but we want to make sure that we have it on the website. This is great for relevancy to local, and it helps Google when it comes to search. So there's a lot of things that I would be suggesting on this website, but the first thing starts with, this is some of the keyword research we did for a local services. And this really helps us identify, okay, what keywords should we be going at? What's the search volume? How difficult is the word to rank for? Once we build out a keyword guide, then we start to silo the content and build a web structure around that. So this is not that complicated, but we just need to put everything in buckets and make sure that when we build out the website, we build it out in such a way that that is congruent with how Google would want to see it, right from the top title tag down to the bottom to the Google embed map. So we have the experience, I believe, based on everything that our team has already done with tourism, to be able to build you a functional, good-looking site, but also so that it's on-page optimized for SEO. Now, there's lots of things you can do after the website's built to bring more traffic. That's typically called search engine optimization, but you really can't do that without having a proper foundation. So this is much like building a home, where you got to start with a good foundation and then you build up. Same thing here. This site has been around for many years. It's served you well, but typically this is time to replace it. And again, you can probably get 5 to 7 years out of a new website for functionality, for speeds, for all the latest, greatest things that Google and search is looking for. So we'll apply and deploy all of the what we call on-page SEO optimization. So I'll make sure that that is all done correctly. We'll make sure title tags, meta descriptions, image alt tags, we'll make sure all of that is done completely and correctly. And then we're going to add and bring new content to it. So this is where I said the other day, if you have photos of your facilities, or because it's still nice weather, if you can start taking a bunch of photos exterior and interior of each of your assets, each of your bedrooms or your cottages, and put them in folders so that we know, okay, this is cottage 1, this is cottage 2, whatever we name it. Then once we have the content, well, it's easy to build the words around that. And how we typically start is, once you accept our quotation, which I'll include here with this video, we would have an onboarding call where our team will get with you. Could be an hour, could be an hour and a half, just to kind of go over, okay, Dan, what is it you want to see? What content do we need to add? What do we want to focus on? That sort of information is what we need. Once we have that, we'll come back to you with a kind of a site layout or just an idea of what we think the site should look like. And then with your input, we can massage it, and then we'll start bringing it to life. So that's kind of the process. Again, I just wanted to get you more in the know, to give you some confidence that I think we can build you an incredible product. No, we will not be the cheapest. We don't want to be the cheapest. Most guys that build websites would never do this keyword research part of it because they're not worried about, you getting visibility. They're just building you a pretty brochure so that it can sit on a shelf and get no traction. We build out websites to ensure that we have them optimized so when people search, we stand a really good chance of coming up in those SERPs. Another thing I would do too is I would make sure that we have all of our socials media connections live and running. So if you think Facebook and Instagram is the place to be, we need to have our icons on there. We need to have the Facebook page and Instagram page either built or modified with the new artwork that we're going to use or the new creative. But people want to see and meet socially, and connecting with them at that level is important. So we could have in here web chats. We could have Facebook Messenger, a chat icon here. There's a lot of different things that we can do, but that's going to depend on your capacity to be able to answer that message in a timely fashion. But anyways, these are some things that I think and I know we need to incorporate in this new project. So Dan, thank you for your time. I hope this helps a little bit. There's so much more to cover, but at least this gives you an idea. And again, I'll have the quote provided here inside this email, and let me know how we can help you. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.